What's poppin' YouTube? It's your boy imKingKenneth back from another video, and today we have to have a conversation about Lil Wayne because for the past week at the time of this recording, people have been clowning him online because last Friday he dropped the long-awaited album The Carter 6, and most people on the internet hate that album for various different reasons, whether it's Wayne's delivery and flow, his production, or him just not being as good as he used to. So this video is pretty much going to be an explanation as to why people hate it so much, the internet's response to it, how I personally feel about the album, other controversies surrounding Lil Wayne, and what you could possibly do going forward. So with all that being said, let's just head straight to the video. Now usually for these videos, I do an introduction, telling people what the subject is, but let's be honest here, everybody knows who Lil Wayne is. And if you somehow don't know him by name, you definitely heard of him or know at least one song, so I don't have to explain there. But what I will explain is the Carter series. For Lil Wayne fans, or just hip hop and rap fans in general, the Carter series is one of the most critically acclaimed rap series of all time. Whether it's the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, or fifth one. My personal favorite is the third one, and everybody got their own reasons as to why they like a certain Carter album the most. So when Lil Wayne announced that the Carter 6 was dropping, everybody including myself was anticipating that album, expecting this one to be in the same caliber as the albums I mentioned previously. And after years of anticipation, it finally dropped last Friday, which by the way, I actually did a full reaction on my live channel, so if you want to check that out after the video ends to see my first impressions, then I will highly suggest to do so, especially because I'm going to reference it later on. But going back to that album, if you were to went online when it first came out, or even now when I upload this, people are hating on the album because like I said before, people hate the instrumentals used, the flow and lyricism that Wayne uses throughout the songs, because Wayne was known for his lyricism and people were expecting that to be the case for this album. But this album was way more of an experimental album, as Lil Wayne tried to experiment with new sounds and not the sound that made him famous in the first place. There is one song in particular people hate, and that is Peanuts to an Elephant. While me personally I don't really hate this song, I actually kinda do like it. I do understand why people hate it though, because it's definitely not a song for Lil Wayne to drop.
What up, though? I'm cutthroat, smoke 'em like double dutch, all you jump rope.
And while I do understand people hating on the album, I personally don't find the album that bad. Not necessarily because it's great, but I think it's just because he's trying new sound. In fact, if you watch my reaction, there's a lot of songs I really hate, but there's also some songs I really like, and there are just some songs that are in the middle. While it's not in the same caliber as the other albums, due to the fact those albums have a theme in it, while this one really doesn't, this is not the worst album I heard, let alone a Lil Wayne album. I honestly feel like, when you really come to think of it, it's kinda like when Reaper first came out. People were hating on the album because it had a new sound, but later on people started to like it. So this could possibly be the case with this album too. I remember people not liking the Carter 5 that much. While obviously some people do, there was also some people that didn't. So while I do understand the criticism and why Wayne is put up to a pedestal because how much of a legend he is, at the same time, this is Lil Wayne in 2025. As much as a Lil Wayne fan I am, let's keep it a buck. Lil Wayne has been the best for the past decade, and that's not a bad thing. Everybody has their prime in their life. Lil Wayne had his prime, I have yet to reach mine, and some of y'all watching this video have your prime as well. So with that being said, my expectations was lowered for this album. Now another thing I want to bring up was that actually last week, Lil Wayne announced a tour for his new album, and the first show was actually in MSG, which took place June 6th, the same day the album dropped. With me being from the city and me just wanting to go to a Lil Wayne concert just because I never went to one, I actually went to the event, and like with the album, I had low expectations because I know Lil Wayne's not the best performer. I honestly just wanted to sing my lungs out while we played some of his greatest hits, and I'm gonna be honest, while it's not completely horrible, it definitely wasn't the greatest. It was decent at best, because first off he was late by 2 hours. The show started at 8. He didn't come to around 10:15, which honestly is not surprising to me. Has there ever been a rap concert where the rapper was on time? If there is, let me know in the comments, because every rap concert I went to so far, the rapper has been late. Even Kendrick was late, and let me know if it also happens in other genres, because I went to a Vibe Cartel concert and he was late too. But back to Wayne, like I said, the show wasn't bad. He played some of his greatest hits, he played a couple songs from his new album, and while the show did have special guests, there was some surprise appearances as Corey Guns and LL Cool J came out. And if you don't know who Corey Guns is, he was a 6', 7 foot, saying word to my mama, I'm on my llama bean, don't want to see what that drama mean. Yeah, that guy. Dope song and dope verse by the way. But anyways, he only performed for about an hour, and like I said, it was a decent show, it wasn't bad. But to be completely honest, it's honestly the worst concert I've been to. But like I said, I wasn't expecting much, and I do appreciate that Lil Wayne always thanked the audience for giving him the platform he has now, and also his crew. So unless you're a Wayne fan like me, I wouldn't recommend buying it. Which brings me up to my next point. We all know that Kendrick performed at the Super Bowl, and some of y'all may or may not be aware about the concert drama that Lil Wayne had chosen for the Super Bowl, considering he's from New Orleans. And one of the reasons as to why I brought the concert up, because people brought up his stage presence as a rebuttal as to why Lil Wayne shouldn't perform at the Super Bowl. I actually also talked about this some months back, so if you want to hear more about that, watch that video after this video ends too. But just today, at the time of this recording, Lil Wayne and Nicki Minaj dropped a remix of Band from New Orleans, which in of itself, if you didn't know, is sampled from Band from TV, or Nori. They dropped references to the NFL, Jay-Z, Rock Nation, and the entire fiasco that happened last year.
NFL fire some niggas and then call us.
And like I said with that video that came out a year ago, while I do would understand their frustration, it makes perfect sense as to why Kendrick performed, and while I would have loved to see it, with what I said in the video, it would not look good for Lil Wayne. But overall, Lil Wayne will always be a legend, and people use that word too often nowadays, but when it comes to rap, and honestly just music in general, Lil Wayne is one of them ones. But just like all of us, he has flaws. And people are hating on Lil Wayne, not because they think he's trash, but because they want to hear better from him, or that their expectations was high. I saw this album more experimental, and honestly I appreciate when artists develop their craft, because all of us evolve as human beings. As we get older and wiser, our interests will change as well. We shouldn't be expecting Lil Wayne to be rapping at the same things he did in his 20s, or even 30s. And don't get me wrong, while I do like Drake and Future's music, one of the main reasons as to why the music doesn't hit the same, because they're rapping at the same stuff they did 10 plus years ago. And as an entertainer, you should grow up with your audience. I know for me personally, I'm not going to be doing the same type of content I'm doing now 5-10 years from now. But like I said, don't make it feel mediocre though. In that album reaction, I gave the album a 7.85 out of 10, but after re-listening to it, I give the album a good 7. But let me know in the comments how you feel about the album though. That's it for the video though, y'all. Hope you enjoy. And if you do, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more videos, and I'ma catch y'all later. Join my Discord by the way, link in the description. Also, follow me on Twitch too, I stream sometimes. With all that being said though, I'm King Kenneth, and I'm out this bitch. Peace out, y'all.